I think we can hear you and see you.
All right. Can you hear and see me?
Can hear you and see you.
All right, great. Welcome everyone to the January 8th KubeStellar community meeting. I'm Kevin Roach, and I'm going to be standing in for Andy this morning, who, as you may have heard, does not have much of a voice. And our agenda is in Google Docs. You can get to it from KubeStellar.io/agenda. And if you are not a member of our Google group yet, there are links at KubeStellar.io to join as well. So if you are here, please feel free to add your name to the agenda as being at the meeting if you choose. We are recording, so by going on mic or turning on your camera, you are agreeing to be recorded. Very briefly, we meet twice a month. We have lots of resources, and we do have a contributor code of conduct, which can be summed up as be polite and kind to each other. We are committed to making participation in KubeStellar and the CNCF community harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. So welcome everyone, and to the new year, and many changes going on. As you may have seen if you visited our site and are following any of our Slack channels. And we do encourage our community to help us do this, because KubeStellar has become an exciting project with lots of people working on it. Let's see, so going through our agenda through today, and I apologize if I go too fast, please say something. And if I do, or if I misspeak, I am not used to hosting. Again, you can join our Slack org, which is in the CNCF workspace, which gives us the interfaces and tools we need. So you can join us there, and you can use the inviter to get invitation and then join the channel. We do have some sub-channels, which if you're particularly interested in participating in, you can ask to join, which are more private. But coming up later this year in March, we have KubeCon EU. The CFP is closed for the main conference, and so are the co-hosted events. We do have 2 talks accepted for Paolo and Braulio. Congratulations to both of you. And we are trying to get in the partner pavilion and do a lightning talk, but we have not yet. We don't know yet if that will happen. Do I have that right, Andy?
Yes, one talk has been accepted from Paolo and Braulio. And
it's TBD.
a joint.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a joint talk. Partner pavilion and lightning talk to be determined. I'll apply when the application opens.
Okay, so the next thing is coming up is the next round of interns for the term 1, which starts in March. We're now in the definition application phase of that internship program. And if you watched us go through this before, this is the crunch time as we fine tune the projects, the programs that we're trying to do. We're creating 6. They are differently focused than in past terms. We are focusing on users and expanding our user base in this term. And so while they are related to the programs we did in the past 2-3 terms, you will see that there is now this user base focus as opposed to coding and and website development, which have been 2 of our big focuses. There's a lot more focus here on what do users need to use KubeStellar, and how do we get more people to actually try using it. Is that a fair assessment, Andy?
Yes. Each one of them is slightly different. but they're all focused on the same thrust, which is user adoption.
Right. And our programs with Cornell and Georgia Tech are continuing, and those are managed through those sites. Correct, Andy? Like I said, I have not been
Yeah,
closely involved in those.
we have a consolidated view of that in the docs. If you look online under our programs.
Ah,
Also, we uh, Google Summer of Code has also announced, and CNCF will participate as a group, and so we have ideas for two such programs within the GSOC for this summer. And I don't have too many details on it just yet, but just suffice to say, there is a discussion about multi-cluster RBAC. What would that look like? And could we do some research on how to implement that? So all ideas are on the table. If any of you that have joined have ideas of your own and would like to, impart them on us, we'd be more than happy to hear you out. That's it. Thanks, Kevin.
okay. Uh, so where we are now with KubeStellar itself, the main repo, the KubeStellar/KubeStellar is currently at release 0.29.0. It is now on Kubernetes 1.31. Mike, do you want to say anything about that? Oh, Mike's not here.
Yeah, I
Do we
think
have?
it's still in progress, to the conversion to 131.
Yeah. And you will have seen, if you're watching any of our repos or the KubeStellar Dev Slack channel, you'll see that there's been a lot of work on KubeFlex as well recently, trying to get it up to date on some of its subcomponents and getting everything coordinated so it all works. Our new website is up and running at KubeStellar.io. That has been a project I'm directing. There are definitely growing pains. So before anyone pops up, we are aware that it is not as full and rich as we want it to be. We are working to address it. One important note is if you are looking for older versions of the docs, you can access the old legacy versions from the docs intro page. Once you go to the website, go to docs, and you will see there is a banner that can take you to the legacy sites, which have not vanished from the internet. They're just not directly linked from KubeStellar.io. And we have lots of upcoming changes and features we are working on, including more security vulnerability scanning. This is especially important for some of the dependencies that we need to spot exploits in the underlying components that make KubeStellar work. We are working to move to Kube 1.32, and we're working towards our next release. There are lots of different subcomponents here. Many of the fixes are going to be waiting on that Kubernetes upgrade. Let's see. We have our PROW migration complete. That has been an adventure over the last year, I would say, Andy, to get it.
Yeah, we've got somebody actually looking at some of the issues that we've been having, like the spyglass and so forth. So there is some hope that there's people actually contributing in that space now.
Right. One of the issues that was happening frequently for people was KubeFlex was trying to create a hook too soon. That has been fixed. And so now in the cleanup from that, we're working on removing some of the now unneeded wait steps from KubeStellar itself, and looking at other vulnerabilities and issues in the core Helm chart. Also, the summarization work for doing combined status, first level is completed. We are working on expanding its capacities. And coming back to the website, if you now work on the website, it is run from its own repo, the KubeStellar/docs. And when you create a PR, it will attempt to create a preview. for you. That is good, but you do have to install the necessary components on your system. You cannot simply work in the code in a fork. You have to actually set up a system that has Node.js and the other required components so that Nextra can properly compile your preview when it's done. This is one of the sections of the website. This documentation on how to make documentation is one of the things we are focusing on. And Netlify, which is how we are now hosting those previews, will not run your PR unless you have properly patched the version of Next.js you have installed. That caught a bunch of us a few weeks ago when suddenly our PRs didn't work. And it is, if once you look, you actually get an error message that tells you exactly what patch you have to apply. So that was a speed run through our agenda. And I'd like to open it if there are any questions or anything from you all out there.
Kevin, thanks for hosting today. Yeah, folks, so if you have any questions about any of the upcoming mentee programs, now would be a good time to ask about it, or any questions about any of the different initiatives that are going on in and around the community that you either have ideas about, would be a great time to ask them now. Thank you.
We have a, there we go.
Actually, I want to ask about the marketplace thing that we made on the website. How much are we progressing through it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We haven't had a lot of progress there. There was a lull between the end of the semester in the fall and the spring semester, and we don't intend on focusing on the marketplace necessarily in the spring semester. However, um, working with customers or users in the spring semester might indicate that they want more in the marketplace, and therefore that would open the door to do more coding there or to drive the direction to do that. There are a few people that have expressed interest in working on the marketplace, but at this time it's open. If anybody would like to work on it, we'd be happy to have you come up with proposals or design specifications and run it by the community, and then we can work on it together to bring it to full implementation.
So it's on a proposal state, basically.
I think so. We do have a proof of concept up on the website, and the intent was to host, just like any other marketplace that you see out there, vendors or users that want to build plugins for the user interface. The plugins for the user interface are not limited to just working on user interface types of things. They would also interact with systems underneath, whether that be singular or distributed. And so we have a plugin framework, and that plugin framework for the most part works. We have a couple of plugins. You can look at our repositories in KubeStellar, you'll find them. And we also have the framework for a marketplace and the variables and the parameters that we would have in a given marketplace entry. So we have that. Now we just need to make it real. I think the way to make it real is to work on take one plugin and determine how the workflow would go from somebody determining they want that plugin, how they would procure the plugin, and how it would install in their UI. So
So
those are
is there any decided number of plugins that we have thought of?
that's limitless, right?
Got
It's a
it.
marketplace.
Got it. Yep. Got it.
Yeah, so if you're interested in working on it, we'd be happy to help and support you.
Yeah, I did texted you for that.
Yep. Thank you for your interest, Shivansh.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
A side note, I do want to encourage anyone who's interested in working on this, join the Slack workspace and take advantage of Slack's threading. So if the conversation gets broken up, it can sometimes be hard to see what the latest comment is. So you can reply to a message in Slack, and that creates a thread where a dialogue can continue that sticks together, and that is sometimes very handy. And it's a aspect of Slack that some users aren't aware how useful it can be. So I do want to encourage the use of threads in Slack. It makes it much easier to find that link that somebody posted once in a conversation. We have one question came in on chat, which is, are we coming in ESOC from Jay?
Yeah, ESOC. So European Summer of Code. I did have a discussion with Frank Corelli, who either owns or runs that organization. He was open to the idea of having us participate. I don't have any ideas about what kind of program we might build for that specific organization to use. But Jay, are you interested in building a program to run through the ESOC?
Yeah, actually, hey Andy, hey Kevin, greetings from my side. I actually saw this ESOP thing on our website, so I just kind of curious what this thing is, and just that's all.
Okay. Yeah, so ESOC runs a little differently than GSOC. So think of ESOC as being the European version of Google's version of Summer of Code. It's the same, it's essentially the same basic time frame for submission and contribution. The difference is that you're allowed to bring in third parties to sponsor or pay for contributors to do the work. Now, in the case of KubeStellar, we don't have any affiliation with a third party that is willing to pay for that. So in ESOC, we would simply participate, and the contribution would be as unpaid. Whereas GSOC is paid, CNCF is paid. I hope that helps, Jay.
Yeah, that makes lots of sense. Thanks, Andy, for clearing.
No problem. Good question so far. Kushi, anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, hello. Hi, Andy. Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Kushi.
Yeah, actually, I was interested in the first project. I just saw when Kevin was presenting. It is related to the user acquisition and production deployment. So I was really interested in the first project.
Excellent. Okay, I'm just going to let you know that I think I'm just reading this. Yeah. Okay, so from what I've been told from the mentors for this specific program, they will be opening an issue with the CNCF, much like you see on the alternative solution migration and comparison specialist. They will be opening that within the next 24 to 48 hours. So you should look to see when the application opens in about a week or two, that program should be available for you to apply to.
Okay, and then what things are you expecting for a mentee to do in that? So that I can prepare the proposal accordingly.
Yeah, Kevin, can you open 1537, the middle link right there?
Yeah.
It's only an example, but so similar to how this just yeah. Okay. So I haven't read this yet, so I don't even know if the description. Okay, issue
Okay.
number. Click on issue 3537. He did this wrong.
There
We're
we go.
supposed to. Okay. So if you look at the expected outcomes here, I have these defined for the other programs. They just have not inserted them yet. But this is an example of the types of things that we're looking for. In the case of this specific program, this is looking for us doing some competitive analysis with other projects in the same subject matter area and determining what they do versus what we do. In the case of user acquisition, which is the one you're interested in, Kushi, we'd be looking to have actually 3 use cases where we've actually gotten partners or companies to sign on and start using KubeStellar, whatever project they want in the KubeStellar realm, but one of the projects.
So we should be seeing, should these all be issues, Andy, at the moment, as they appear to start
You
with?
might, yeah, look for LFX 26. Yeah, there you go. Here it is, the top one.
This
So
one.
Cushy,
Yeah.
just go into issues and you'll see it pinned. Do you see that?
Yeah, sure, Andy. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So look through the criteria and see what you think.
I was actually comparing Argo CD and KubeStellar the other day. As Shivam asked me to like implement the node fixed node, so I proposed him that we can even do nodes like in the tree view. We can even use fixed node. So he asked me to compare with Argo CD. So I was just comparing KubeStellar and Argo CD.
I
Okay,
mean, I
very
use
good.
Argo
Well,
cities
that's a good start.
different thing. Hey, can you clear me? Can you give me some more context about Argo CD? I think that's more about CI/CD stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And
So Jay, we oftentimes get uh when people look to KubeStellar, they look at it as a way we are a way to deliver, orchestrate the delivery of objects to remote clusters. Okay. So if you look at Argo CD does the same thing. Argo CD has a nice user interface. It's installable via the command line. It has CRDs that you can use to define jobs. It's very similar to what we do. Argo CD is a de facto standard to many, and it's what they've come to know and use. KubeStellar is not. And so what we're looking for is to in the next 3 months is to use these programs that we've defined for the LFX 26 term one to work with end users and partners to determine what it is they would like to see KubeStellar do differently than things like Argo. I hope that helps.
yeah, that makes sense actually.
We need some differentiators, or at
Yeah.
least one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
The
some
the, the
ideas,
it,
but we would need to
it's
validate
it's
them. Yeah.
yeah, it's the why switch question and how do we get that message out?
Yeah, it may not even be switch, it may just be augment, right?
Right. Right.
It's missing something. And what I found, Jay, is over the past 6 months and working in these internships and menteeships, is that many times we're just throwing a dart at a wall and it's blank and we don't know what the user really wants from us. The next 3 months, we're actually going to take uh, methodic and mechanical steps to talk directly to users to see what it is they need. And we will not develop any more features unless they meet the needs of an actual user. We should have been doing this from the beginning, and we didn't, and that's our mistake, but we're trying to correct that now. Does that make sense,
Oh,
Jay?
yeah, that's actually makes sense. And I would suggest we should visit some more like what this event or conferences of KubeCon that actually gonna help us if we want actually users feedback.
Yes. Look at actually what I've done is I compiled a multi-cluster Kubernetes survey, which I just dropped in the chat. What I'd like to do is run this survey and get it at a minimum 100 or 150 responses, and then from there analyze the results and see if we can come up with a plan on how to address those user needs.
Yeah, also, and it's a great initiative to take the survey. I mean, we'll get to know what user wants.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did this project backwards. I'd be the first to admit it, right? I was being one of the folks, the chief maintainers, one of the beginning, one of the original members, is we didn't do we didn't talk to users. We asserted that this is what they need, and we made a big mistake. So now it's time to go back, figure out what it is we can help users with, and then modify, augment, develop to meet their needs.
That's
So if
great.
you're, if you're about that, then these next 3 months are going to be a bit sketchy in terms of it's a little bit more loose than it was in the past in terms of contribution.
Mhm.
It's not as easy to determine and define what the metrics are we measure people by, but we've done that in quite a few of these issues already. If we said this is what we'll measure you by, so we have measurement techniques and metrics. Now it's a matter of us going and actually um, having people execute this and get potential user feedback, and then from there we can then shape the summer contributions, the summer programs. So what will we focus on in the summer? That will be guided by what we learn in the spring.
That's really great. I mean, great initiative. It's a nice idea to implement.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Okay, well, we are actually coming up on the half hour, and no one in my group will be surprised to hear I have yet another meeting to go to. I do want to add that while it is not a direct project in the next term, work on the website and the docs design is going to continue. So if you are interested in that effort, join our KubeStellar dev Slack and join the conversations, because there is a fair amount of work to do to fully enrich the site the way we want to, and to get versioning to work, for instance, is one of the things where we're still working. So with that, I thank you for your time, and I think we are done for this meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you very much for hosting. I did too much talking and I'll probably suffer as a result, but thank you for hosting. Also, Kevin, just as a reminder to you and everybody else on the call, the best way to get other people to contribute to programs, whether they're official or not, is to open Help Wanted issues. Our Help Wanted issues are grabbed and worked on feverishly. People are always looking for Help Wanted issues in our project. So please open Help Wanted issues as much as you can. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye now.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, have a great day. Thanks for the meeting, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Same to you. Bye bye.